Good morning, students. Am I audible? Can anyone respond?
Yes,
Fine. So it was a bit delayed because my system got updated. So that's the reason it was delayed. Okay, anyhow, we have today 2 hours of class. So one thing that I would like to say you that first thing is today we'll be discussing what 4 classes, because 2 hours are there. Every 20 minutes will be going with one class and one program. So 4 classes will be discussing, and tomorrow again I'm going to take 2 hours. Actually, schedule is there with the DBMS, but tomorrow I'm going to take 2 hours of class, and let's see whether it's possible I will take in the afternoon session also. Afternoon in the sense afternoon class also we have. Let's see. I will look into, but definitely tomorrow I'm going to take 2 hours, and by tomorrow we'll be closing off this 4th unit. Okay, tomorrow we'll be closing off this 4th unit. Let's see. And I will be sharing you the Google form also. Yesterday's programs you need to upload into that Google form. Fine. So listen here, all of you. Very simple things are there to understand the things. We discussed about array list. We discussed about linked list, hash set, reset. Now we'll be going with priority queue. In this session, we'll be going with priority queue. We are going with array DQ. Very simple, students. And then we'll be going with this thing, priority queue and array DQ. And in that itself, priority queue itself, we'll be having a concept called comparators, but I'm not going to discuss comparators right now because it leads to a lot of confusion. We'll be discussing this comparator later, and we'll be going with priority queue DQ. After this priority queue and DQ, we'll be going with map interfaces and classes. Just it's a theory topic, and one program will be there in this. And then we'll be going with collection algorithms. Collection algorithm means don't think much. We'll be having very simple things like binary search, searching, sorting, like those things will be incorporated in collection algorithms. So with the help of collection interface, so we'll be using that, and how we'll be using, and all these things we'll be discussing clearly over there. Okay. And then we'll be discussing about this legacy classes. What do you mean by legacy class? Arrays, will be going with that arrays, and then we'll be seeing about legacy classes and interfaces. And in this already we discussed about dictionaries. Dictionary means it's an abstract class. Theory thing we'll be discussing, and these 2 classes are there. Out of this 2, we'll be going with any one class we'll be discussing in today's session. Okay, the thing is we need to go with priority queue, we need to go with array DQ, and then collection algorithms, arrays followed by map and interfaces. This hash table will be discussing. So most probably we'll be closing off this. Already we completed stack and vector. We completed these 2 things, stack and vector. And then we'll be going with the string tokenizer, bit calendar. Very simple thing, right? Very simple thing in such a way that scanner, what is the purpose of this? Functions, and then one program. And then what string tokenizer, what is the purpose of that? One thing. Tomorrow we'll be going to discuss about this complete session about utility classes. We'll be discussing in tomorrow morning session. Most probably we'll be going to finish this unit 4 in tomorrow's session. Okay, clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Unit 5 is going to be very interesting thing. Topics will be there in unit 5. You never expect that this kind of things will be there in unit 5 and like that. Many things are there in unit 5. We'll be discussing in unit 5 on Saturday class. I think Saturday we have class, and Saturday we'll be discussing unit 5. It takes exactly 10 hours of time. So we'll be finishing that in 10 hours. Let's see what happens. Right. So as we already discussed about introduction part of priority queue in the last class, So what do you mean by priority queue? First of all, in general, what happens is priority queue, you'll be thinking that priority, the elements will be inserted based on priority, that the elements are going to be inserted into a queue based on priority. Yes, it's correct. You'll be inserting some set of elements based on certain priority, right? A priority queue is used when objects are supposed to be processed based on the priority. And based on what priority? Whether the user can give priority, or automatically this priority class will be taking that priority, that we need to think of. So based on certain priority, suppose I have some set of elements here. I have some set of elements here, 2, 3, 4 is the set of elements that I have. And I would like to insert this 2, 3, 4 into my queue. You're already aware of queue. We'll be inserting first element 2 at goes to front end, and then we'll be going with next element 3, and then we'll be going with what next element called 4. So this is how we'll be inserting the elements. But the thing is, I would like to insert an element based on certain priority. That means these are the elements that I would like to insert. 2 has came first, 3 has came next, and 4 has came last. But I'm saying that 4 is having more priority. 4 will be having what more priority, and 3 will be having less priority when compared to 4, and but it having more priority when compared to 2. That means the thing is 4 is having more priority, so I'm giving it as 1, and 3 will be having what next priority of 4, and 2 will be having next priority of what 3. So in general human psychology, what they will be thinking, which element has to be inserted first?
Highest priority.
Highest priority element need to be inserted first. Here highest priority element is what? Students, I need a response. Highest element 4. So first 4 will be inserting, and after that next element, which one we need to insert?
3.
3 and then 2. Like that we'll be thinking, right? So every element or every object contains some priority, and according to that priority, the elements need to be inserted. The elements need to be inserted. That is what our thing. But this is not going to be happened in our priority queue, which was provided in our Java library, And how the Java library is going to do over here? The Java library is going to follow mainly two things. One is natural ordering. Other one is comparator. One is natural ordering, other one is comparator. The elements of priority queue are ordered according to their natural ordering. Natural ordering in the sense as ascending order. Suppose I'm giving 2, 3, 4. Then the elements are going to be placed in such a way that 2, 3, 4 only. That means in sorting order, the elements are going to be placed. In very simple words, natural ordering is nothing but sorted order. Natural order is nothing but what? A sorted order. The elements of the priority queue are ordered according to their natural ordering. That means as per the sorting order, or else we can make these elements to be arranged as per the requirement of the user. And I'm the programmer, and I would like to place 3 as first. Next, I would like to place 4. Next, I would like to place what? 2. Like that, I would like to place. And if that was the case, means I need to build a logic in such a way that 3 has to come first, next 4, next 2. Like that, I need to build a logic. And that logic I need to build with the help of comparator. Comparator. Otherwise, if you are not interested to do like that, then what happens by default? Your priority queue will follow natural ordering. Natural ordering in the sense ascending order. Smallest value it takes first, and then largest value it is going to take next. Like that, small to highest values it is going to be considered. Priority queue is going to be considered like that. I will be showing you one example that I'm going to keep on insert the elements into the priority queue, and how these elements are going to be displayed when we printing this object, or when we are going to print these elements by using a iterator object and all. You'll be getting some clarity over there, right? So try to understand, students will not be giving any priority for the objects. Just will be giving some set of objects into a priority queue object. And this priority queue, what we'll be doing is, it is following mainly two things. One is natural ordering in the sense sorting order. Other one is going to be comparator. If we are going to take comparator means, and the programmer has to provide the logic for comparator. Comparator. Okay, and how to specify this comparator means, this comparator must be specified at the time of queue construction. That means at the time of creating an object, at the time of creating a priority queue object itself, we need to specify comparator. How to specify comparator at the time of creating an object of priority queue, that I will discuss later. We'll have a separate session on comparator. We'll be discussing clearly about that with what 2 examples I will be discussing about this comparator. Till now, try to remember that in priority queue, what the order, the objects of the order, or the priority of the order can be maintained by using natural ordering and by using what? Comparator. If you are following natural ordering means it's nothing but sorting order. Comparator in the sense, as per the requirement of the user, as per the requirement of the programmer, you need to write a logic in comparator. You need to write a logic in what? A comparator. How to write a logic in comparator, that we'll discuss later. Right? Clear with this, students? We'll not be giving any priority over here. For the objects, we are not giving any priority. If you are not giving any if you are not we are not giving any priority for the objects, then what we'll be doing is what we need to go with. If you want to give the priority means by default the priority queue is going with what? Natural ordering. Or else if you want to go with, if you're not interested with natural ordering, you want to give your own way of inserting the elements into a priority queue, then in that case we need to go with what? Comparator. How to write a logic for comparator, that we'll discuss later. Only two things are there, students. One is in priority queue, the elements are going to be inserted based on natural ordering or comparator. If natural ordering means sorting order, comparator means the logic has to be built by the programmer. And how to specify comparator means at the time of creating priority queue object itself, we are specifying what? Comparator. Is it clear for everyone, the concept, what I said?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about others? Let's go with 47, 45,
Yes, sir.
45. Have understood 45? Gaurinath, Pujita, 36, 35.
Yes, sir.
Have understood?
Yes, sir.
What you understood, can you repeat it?
Priority key means will be objects will be objects will be inserting like according to the priority will be using two ways. Normal normal means sorting and comparator.
Okay, Sushma, how who is going to write the logic for comparator? It will come automatically, or what? What will be doing? Sushma. Sushma, 25. 25.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you mean by comparator, Sushma? Sushma,
Yes,
20.
sir.
Have you listened or not? Come to the point directly.
I listened, sir.
Then elaborate it. What do you mean? How who is going to write the logic? It will come automatically, or what? $22.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by comparator?
Comparator, we will write the logic, so based on the in what way we want to give the priority.
Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Right. So fine. So try to listen, Sushma. Try to listen the class. Try to understand. I hope you are listening, but you are not able to express it. Try to listen. So again, I'm saying that priority queue lo manam what elements insert cheyochu, first in first order, first in first out basis మీదనే insert cheyochu. But insert చేసే ముందు priority queue లో ఎలా ఎలిమెంట్స్ వెళ్తాయి? క్యూలో అయితే మనం ఎలా ఇస్తే అలా వెళ్తాయి. ప్రియారిటీ క్యూకి సంథింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఉండాలి కాబట్టి ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ ప్రియారిటీ క్యూ అన్నది ప్రియారిటీ బేస్ మీద ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఏ ప్రియారిటీ బేస్ అంటే 2 ప్రియారిటీ బేస్. వన్ ఇస్ న్యాచురల్ ఆర్డరింగ్. న్యాచురల్ ఆర్డరింగ్ అంటే సార్టింగ్ ఆర్డర్ లో వెళ్ళిపోతాయి ఎలిమెంట్స్ అని చెప్తున్నాడు. ఇంకోటి ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు అని అంటే కంపారేటర్ ద్వారా మీకు సార్టింగ్ ఆర్డర్ నచ్చకపోతే కంపారేటర్ ద్వారా ప్రోగ్రామర్ అనేవాడు లాజిక్ ని రాసుకొని ఆ లాజిక్ ని బేస్ చేసుకొని ఎలిమెంట్స్ ని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అనేసి చెప్తున్నాడు అనమాట. దట్స్ ద మెయిన్ థింగ్. And how to specify comparator means at the time of creating priority object, we are specifying what? Comparator. Right. The head of this queue is the least element with respect to the specified order. Head means what? First element. First element. Head and into first element in the queue. And that first element is going to be the least element if the priority queue is following what? Natural ordering. If priority queue is following natural ordering means the head of the queue is going to be the least element. And the first element and least element ga untadi kada manaki. Are you agreeing with me with this point? Respond. Are you agreeing with this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So everyone got clarity on priority queue, right? Can I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So from where this priority queue came means iterable interface, collection interface, queue interface, and from this queue interface there exists a abstract class, abstract queue, and there exists a class called what? Priority queue class. There exists a class called what? priority queue class, and for this priority queue class we can create an object, and we can keep on add the objects into that priority queue, and those objects will be inserted by in natural ordering, or else those objects can be inserted by using what a comparator, and the logic of the comparator need to be done by the programmer, right? And one more key, so a few key points that are there with respect to priority queue. Priority queue rely on natural ordering, and does not permit the insertion of non-comparable objects. This is one of the important point in priority queue, students. A priority queue depends on natural ordering. Natural ordering means sorting order. Suppose మీరు స్ట్రింగ్స్ ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, ఏబిసి డిఈఎఫ్ అని చెప్పేసి what z xyz అని ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, ఆర్డర్ ఎలా వెళ్తుందంటే ఏబిసి ఫస్ట్ వెళ్తుంది, ఏ అండ్ దెన్ what CDE and then XYZ order lo veltayi. I will be showing you that clearly. Next thing is, it does not performs insertion of a non-comparable objects. Try to remember this word, it does not permit the insertion of non-comparable objects. I will address this issue in program. And priority queue does not permits null, as we cannot compare it with any value. Priority queue does not compare null, as we cannot compare it with any value. And this also I will address this. The basic retrieval operation like poll, remove, peek, access, the elements are at the front and are at the head of the queue. That means ivanni ante poll anna gaani, poll ante delete chestundi, remove anna delete chestundi, and peek ante display chestundi. Ivanni front end nunchi jarugutayi, ante first element of the queue lone jarugutayi anes cheptunnadu, right? So I will address this issue, students. Non-comparable objects, I will address this. First make a note of this fast, everyone, and I will be seeing your notes by the end. Okay, make a note of this fast. Take the first point.
సార్
Second point, yes.
ఇప్పుడు వాల్యూస్ అనేవి రిపీట్ అవుతాయా సార్? అవ్వచ్చా?
ఇక్కడ కీ పాయింట్స్ లో ఏం స్పెసిఫై చేయలేదు. I don't remember exactly, Manitesh. I will try in the program.
ఓకే
And
సార్.
moreover, this is not set also. Set కూడా కాదు కాబట్టి అలాంటి ఏం లేవు మనకి. Do you remember anything queue interface? Let's go with queue interface first of all. Very good, very good. Extends, insert చేసుకోవచ్చు బాబు, అక్కడ ఏం పాయింట్ అయితే స్పెసిఫై చేయలేదు. We can insert, no problem. We'll check in the program, right?
ఓకే సార్.
Fine. Make a note of this fast. First point, second point, and if possible third point also. Fast, do it fast. Completed? Students respond, completed?
Yes, sir.
What about others? I need a quick response from you all. TH students are there.
కంప్యూటర్స్.
Yes, sir.
Key points, make a note of this key points also, all of you. Completed? Students respond completed. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Let's enter into this programming part. Try to understand the students. I'm going very, very slow. Try to understand it. So 2 points I would like to clear you. Okay. One is with respect to comparable, other one is non-comparable object. It was there in the first point, right? So let's see first of all the behavior of this thing. I'm creating priority queue object. I'm creating priority queue object. Forget about that comparable initially. The first try to understand this thing. I am going to create what priority queue object. Now with the help of add function, you already know the same story. Q dot add of what 17, Q dot add of 24, 7, 1, and then 3. Like that, we are inserting the elements. So here I'm not interested to use comparable. If I'm not interested to use comparable means, then what happens? Comparator means, then what happens? It goes with the natural ordering. The way of inserting the elements here is 17, 24, 7, 1, and 3. And the way of the elements placed in the queue is going to be, our queue object is going to be 1, 3, 7, 17, and then 24. And if I print this, I used to get in ascending order. Let's talk about all these things later. Now I'm going to save this program. Now I'm going with compilation phase, Java C space, priority queue demo.java. After that, I'm going to execute this program if there are no errors. So let's wait. So thingy, we are expecting that 137 what 24 need to be done. Okay, fine. So Java space -cp was compiled, we not got any error. Right. So the way inserted here is it has to get a natural ordering. Why we got here this 1 minute. Okay. So we need to get in sorting order, but I don't know why it was what we are getting like this. So we created an object. Now we'll try to add q dot add of new integer of 10. 11, 12, Save it. So we got 9, 10, 14, and then 12. Okay, only one thing it's not came properly. I think it is following some methodology to insert the things, and with respect to 2 digits, it's not doing properly. Suppose when we are going with 11, we try to insert 11 over here. Nine, 11, and then 12. Let's go into that thing. Let's enter into this Java API and let's enter into priority queue and let's check whether what the theme of Java API, priority queue add function, in what way it has inserting. They might be specifying it clearly so that we might be getting clarity on it. Let's see. It's comparing from beginning elements. Java.util. In that there exists priority queue. Okay. Insert element add without any parameter is there. Insert the specified element into this priority queue. So 1 minute, students will do something here. Who is this? Prithvi, mute yourself. Yeah. That means we need to specify the type over there. Then only it is going to be arranged the elements properly. So by default, it is going to be considered as a string or something else. So that's the reason we not got it. But even though we not got it right, But there is a problem with 10, I think, right? Try to insert one single digit. There is some logic it is following, I think. But it's not going to, it's not following that natural ordering also. I will get back to it. Okay, fine. So what happened here is it is going to be inserted as per natural ordering. It's saying, but it's not inserting as per natural ordering also.
సార్ ఆ
Some
10 ప్లేస్ లో వేరే డిజిట్ తీసుకుంటే సార్
ఎక్కడ అంటున్నాను ఇక్కడ
యాడ్
అంటున్నాను
చేసేటప్పుడు 10 ప్లేస్ లో వేరే డిజిట్ తీసుకుంటే
16 తీసుకోవాలి సరే 18 తీసుకున్నాను. Again, there is a problem with 11.
సార్ ఇది ఇండెక్సింగ్ ఒక ఆర్డర్ ని ఫాలో అవుతుంది సార్ అవుట్పుట్.
Which order?
అంటే ఇప్పుడు 5 ఎలిమెంట్స్ 6 ఎలిమెంట్స్ తీసుకుంటే 0 to 6 నెంబర్డ్ 0 to 5 నెంబర్డ్ ఇండెక్సెస్ తీసుకుంటే 4 లో ఉన్న 0 లోకి వెళ్తుంది, 0 లో ఉన్నది 4 లోకి వెళ్తుంది, 3 లో ఉన్నది 1 లోకి వెళ్తుంది, 1 లో ఉన్నది 3 లోకి వెళ్తుంది. అలా ఏదో ఆర్డర్ చూసుకుంటుంది సార్ అది.
అదే some indexing it is following while printing, but it has to, it's what not supposed to follow like that. Okay, it has to be follow natural ordering, because when you type here natural ordering, alphabetic order, chronological order. Okay, but when you let's take strings, here also it's not following the same thing. J has to come between A and V. Okay, we'll look into it. I will get back to you. And meanwhile, try to remember that it's going to follow in chronological order, that is sorting order. Now let's see what function called q.peak. Q.peak means the head. Head means the element which is present at front end. That means this element can be considered as what a front end, and that element is going to be printed. So head.peak means it gives that particular element, and q.poll means it's somewhat different. I will discuss that q.poll function. So let's compile this with respect to head. With respect to head, so what we'll be getting here, we'll be getting 7. And after printing this head, let's see whether this peak is going to remove that element from this q or not, means peak is not going to remove it. See here, before calling this poll function, what happens? After calling this poll function, what happens? Try to see this. Try to see this before calling poll function. What happened? When after calling poll function, what happened? Try to see this. So see, We printed q elements. After printing q elements, what we'll be doing is we'll be going with head q dot peak. Means the first element is going to be printed. After that, we'll be printing all the complete list of elements, and then q dot poll. Poll means it retrieves the first element and it removes that. It retrieves first element and prints that and removes that, right? So it removes that. Let's see what happens. See first what 7 ABC, and then header 7, and then this is after peak. So after peak also the 7 is there, but poll function we called. After calling poll function, what happened here? ABC, J, Vignan, Zan. Now what happens is when I'm going to print this, see q dot poll I'm going to take here, q dot poll I'm going to take over here, q dot poll I'm going to take over here. Now what happens? Let's see. See, first thing is q elements we printed. After that 7, and then what? After peak we'll be printing again q, and then we call poll. Poll, what it does is it retrieves and it deletes. It takes the element present at first position of the queue. That means front end it takes the element and deletes that particular element. That's the difference between peak and poll. Peak and poll. That means if you want to implement a queue data structure, then you can take priority queue, and this priority queue is going to be insert the elements as per the natural ordering. Try to do this in your systems, so whether you will be getting an appropriate thing or not. So after doing that, if you want to insert the elements, you can make use of add function, and if you want to delete the elements, you can make use of what? Poll function. If you need the element which was placed at first or the least element, then you can make use of this peak function, right? And this is iterator. With the help of iterator, we'll be printing has next and then next elements. So let's save this and let's try to execute it again.
సార్ అక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ లో పోల్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆర్డర్ ప్రకారంగా వచ్చింది సార్.
ఏంటన్నా?
పోల్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఏ
యా
ఆర్డర్ వచ్చి
yes, very good. Why it was happened, I don't know. I will check it and I will get back to you. Might be there is a problem with what add function or something else. Let's see any other function is available to insert the elements. Offer is there. Where is offer?
సార్ 7 ఉన్నప్పుడు క్రోనలాజికల్ ఆర్డర్ రావాలంటే ఎలా వస్తుంది సార్?
7 ఉన్నప్పుడు
మీరు స్ట్రింగ్ లో 7 ని కూడా ఇచ్చారు కదా సార్ అక్కడ. అప్పుడు క్రోనలాజికల్ ఆర్డర్ అంటే ఎలా వస్తుంది సార్?
ఫస్ట్ డిజిట్స్ ఉన్నాయి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి ముందుకు. ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం. After performing poll, then only it's going to be happen. Poll function is it? Okay, I will look into it and I will get back to you about this. Okay. And offer also not working properly. But after performing poll, we are getting an expected output over there. Let's try to use both. What will happen? Even after performing poll also, it's not giving an appropriate thing. Okay, I think we need to go with only comparator, I think. If not, it's going to take randomly. It's not going to follow the natural ordering also. Okay, students, I will look into it and I will get back to you about this. Okay, there is some problem in this priority queue because we already seen the possible options. Okay, fine. Take this program, all of you. Take this program.
Screen share card.
Now you are able to see.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the program now?
Yes, sir. Completed. Students respond completed or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So final thing that I would like to do here might be using Maxheap or something else. Let's see. One thing I would like to do. 1 minute. I would like to conclude it. q dot add of 3 9. It's following heap data structure, students. Min heap it is following. Do you remember heap?
Data structure.
Min heap and max heap.
Yes, sir.
And it's following that, and it is printing as per array order. So try to construct what min heap for these 3 elements. Min heap for these 3 elements allows min heap 3 elements ki. Can anyone say how it is going to be? Min heap em cheptundi manaki? The root node value must be less than or equal to its left hand, right side. Say first I'm taking root node as 9, and here left of 9 I'm going to take as what? Left of 9 I'm going to take as what? 3. But 3 is less than or equal to 9. Then what happens is we'll need to interchange this. 9 comes over there. After that, the next element that I would like to insert here is what? 4. And I'm going to place 4 over right side of 3. So that what happens here? 3, 9, and then 4. Okay, here it's satisfying the condition. When I attach right side of 3, it's satisfying this condition. And the same elements when I placed in an array, and how it is going to be 3, 9, and then 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when I compile this, same thing I got 3, 9, 4. Suppose I would like to insert 5. So where I'm going to insert 5? Here I'm going to insert 5. So when I'm going to insert 5 means this 5 is less than or equal to 9. Then again I need to interchange like this. So 5 comes here, and then 9 has to come over here. So in that case, how the elements are to be? 3,
3, 5, 4, 9.
3, 5,
4, 9.
3, 5, 4, 9. Right? Save this, and we'll insert one more element over here. What's the next element? 5 kada?
Yes, sir.
Compile it. Right? 3, 5, 4, 9, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it. It's following what? Heap data structure over that. And the two min heap it's following. It's not following max heap. It's following what? Min heap. Because the least element, always we are seeing the thing like always we got the least element as a first element. So what it is going to consider it? Min heap data structure. It's going to consider what? Min heap data structure. And according to that min heap data structure, it is going to construct first for given elements. It's going to construct min heap. It is going to construct what? Min heap. And according to that min heap only, it is going to display the elements 3 first, 5 tarata 4, 9. Suppose నేను 10 insert చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. So 10 ఇక్కడ insert చేస్తే 10 ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది? Right side of 5 వస్తుంది. Next I would like to insert one more element called 2. So where I'm going to insert this 2 left of 4, left of 4. But 2 is less than 4. 2 is less than 4. So we need to, what we need to do? We need to interchange here 3, and here it comes with what? 4. Sorry, here it comes with 4, and here it comes with what? 2. But 2 is less than 3. 2 comes over here. 2 comes over here, and 3 comes over here. 3 comes over here. Now it's satisfying min heap property. And what will be the order of this? 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, 9, 10, and then 4. It's following what? Level order. While displaying, it's following what? Level order, right? So I would like to insert one more element here. That is 10 and 4. 10 and 2. So 10 I'm going to insert. After that I'm going to insert what? 2. So in this case, I'm going to print the elements. In this case, I'm going to print the elements over there. So the order that I'm going to get is 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, 4. Not executed, just compiling I'm doing. So 2, 5, 9, 2, 5, 9, 10, 4. Okay, clear with this, I think.
Yes, sir.
Right. So one more thing is that here I said I used to discuss some key points over there. Are you able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So there is one thing that non-comparable objects. Natural ordering also does not permit insertion of non-comparable objects. Now what I'm doing is this complete things are set of integers. This complete things are set of what? Integers. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to add string over here. I'm trying to add string over here. Now what I'm doing is I'm removing this integer. I'm removing this integer also. If I specify integer, then it's not allows us to insert. We know that already. I'm removing I'm removing integer from here. And in this case, what I will be thinking is I can insert different types of elements, just like in linked list, just like in array list. We can take what different types of values. But here I'm removing that integers. I'm taking what only priority. I'm creating priority queue objects and keep on adding the elements 9, 3, 5, 10, 2, and then I'm going to insert what string. Before inserting this string, I printed that elements. Let's compile this program, whether the Java compiler will generate any error, because in priority queue, we need to insert the same type of elements. We are not supposed to insert different types of elements. If we are trying to insert different types of elements, it doesn't allows. Java compiler is not going to generate any error, but Java JVM is going to generate an error. See, we got 2, 5, 3, 9, 10, 4. We printed those elements. Queue we printed. After that, we are trying to add a string. But when we try to add the string, and at that time it generated what? An exception class cast exception. Integer cannot be casted to what? A java.lang. String. Like that, it's giving some message. The reason is that these are all belongs to one category. These are all belongs to what? One category. And we keep on added those elements. And here we are not taken any type also. For priority queue object, we are not taken any type. We can, without of inserting different types of elements, but we are not going to insert different types of elements over there. The only same type of elements we need to insert. If you're trying to do it, the JVM is going to generate an error. JVM is going to generate an error. Suppose I'm going to take q.add of 19.36, and I'm removing this. I'm going to place this q.19.36 over here. So let's try to insert this. Let's try to insert this. So it is a floating point value. It will be considered as a double value, and whether it will insert double value or not, let's see. So it's not inserting double value also. If you are keep on inserting integers, then you need to place what? Integers only. If you keep on insert float, means then you need to place what? Only floating point values. The first value I inserted what? Float, and I'm changing something here 18.3, 17.36 and 18.36. Now I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. If the first value is float, means every value should be float. It should not be what? A thing. Because I inserted here string, that's the reason it generated what? Error. But it displayed this 17.36, 19.36, 18.36. Clear with this, everyone? Non-comparable in the sense, if the first element is integer and we need to insert only integers. If first element is character, we need to insert character. If it is float, we need to insert float. If it is double, we need to insert what? Double. We are not supposed to take different types of values in priority queue, because the priority queue is going to construct what? A heap data structure. Is going to consider what? A heap data structure. Okay, clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, even though time was wasted, we concluded it. Fine. Have you done with program, everyone? Program
Yes, sir.
Askunara, right? So there, try to take that priority queue. After key points, take this point. Priority queue follows min heap data structure. Priority queue follows min heap data structure. Priority queue follows a min heap data structure. Min heap data structure. If the user or the programmer wants to insert the objects, if the programmer wants to insert the objects as per his priority, then the programmer has to implement comparator. The programmer has to implement what? Comparator. The programmer has to implement what? Comparator. The programmer has to implement what? Comparator. At the time of creating priority queue object. At the time of creating priority queue object. At the time of creating priority queue object. Okay. Clear with this, everyone? So comparator ela తీసుకుంటారు అని అంటే at the time of creating an object itself we'll be taking comparator like this. We'll be taking comparator like this, priority queue, space some capacity, initial capacity, you can take 3, 5 or 10, anything you can take. And then here we need to take comparator, what a reference we need to take. We need to take what comparator reference. So in this case, what happens is when you are going to insert an element into priority queue with the help of add function, and that element is going to be inserted with respect to this comparator logic, and how to write that comparator logic and all we'll be discussing later. And if you want to implement a priority queue with the help of comparator, then we need to take what this type of creating an object. We are not supposed to take just what creating an object like this, very simple, priority queue is equal to new priority queue and ila తీసుకోకూడదు. And in this we need to take what some capacity, initial capacity we need to take as what 12 or something like this, and then we need to take what comparator. We need to take what comparator class over here. And how to take that comparator class and all we'll be discussing clearly, and in comparator thing we'll be discussing it clearly. Okay, I think I given clarity about this priority queue. I have understood it. Response, students.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let's enter into this array DQ. Keep heading array DQ. This array DQ class provides a facility of using DQ. Provides a facility of what? Using DQ. In data structures, we have a concept called DQ. We have a concept called what? DQ, but it was not there in your syllabus. DQ in the sense it's not going to be what the deletion of an element from a queue. DQ in the sense we have one full form for DQ. Let's have a discussion on that DQ. DQ in the sense double-ended queue. DQ in the sense double-ended queue. Double-ended queue in the sense where insertion and deletion can be performed at two ends. And how it is going to be performed, let's see. First of all, we'll discuss about DQ. So what do you mean by DQ? DQ is nothing but double-ended queue. Double-ended queue where insertion and deletion is performed at front and rear ends. That means in general queue consists of mainly two operations. Insertion can be done at what rear, deletion can be done at front. But here the what operations goes like this: insert front, insert rear, delete front, delete rear, whatever the element it might be. So if you want to insert from front end, you can insert. You can what delete an element from front end means you can delete an element from front end, and you want to delete an element from rear end means you can delete what element from rear end. That means insertion deletion can take place at two ends. Insertion and deletion can take place at what? Two ends. At two ends, your insertion and deletion is going to be done. In case of queue, there won't be only one end. That means insertion can be done from one end and deletion can be done at from another end. But in case of DQ, what happens is insertion can be done from one end, from two ends. Insertion can be done from two ends, and deletion also can be done in what? Two ends. Deletion also can be done at what? Two ends. Let us assume that one end is going to be rear, one end is going to be front, and another end is going to be at what? Rear. So we can perform insertion deletion from rear, as well as we can perform insertion deletion from where? Front. And for that, we need to write the logic in C language. When you implement DQ in C language, we need to write a separate logic for that. But coming to this arrays, no need to write any logic over here, because we already contains a predefined things, and we can make use of those predefined things. Add first, add last, delete first, delete last. Functions are available, and we can make use of that. So, and this DQ concept can be implemented, was implemented in array DQ concept, array DQ class in Java. Array DQ class in Java. Unlike queue, we can add or remove the elements from both sides. Null elements are not allowed. DQ is non-synchronized, and there is no restriction capacity. It is faster than linked list and stack. So we have some set of functions you can see here: add first, and then add last. Add first, add last, or if you use simply add also, this element will add at the end. That means rear end, and add first will add at the beginning. That means what? Front end. Get first and get last. If you want to retrieve the elements, you can get the first element as well as last element, and then remove last, and then remove. Removes a specified element, and remove or removes first, remove first pole or pole first, reduce the first reduce and removes the first element, and remove last. What it does is it removes the last element. It removes what? A last element. Okay, that means whatever the operations that we have here, like insert front, insert rear, and delete front, delete rear, and these operations we can done with the help of add first, add last, and then what? Delete front, delete rear can be done with the help of remove first and then remove last. Remove first and then remove last. Like that, this DQ is going to be done over there. Let's see the program, simple program based on this DQ. Try to write this thing, everyone. Make a note of this. And here DQ, note down double-ended Q, double-ended Q. Write the first statement, all of you once, and then we'll going to discuss about DQ. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Write down only one line and then go with this print, this part. Completed? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Completed, sir.
Right. Take these key points. Completed? Students respond, have you done it?
No, sir. Done, sir.
What about others?
Completed. Completed.
Right. So here, what we'll be doing is we'll be going with array DQ demo, and here I'm going to create an object for DQ. Or else directly you can take what array DQ here rather than taking this. Again, it will be some confusing. Okay. Array DQ, DQ is equal to what? A new array DQ of 10 initial capacity I'm going to take. And then I'm going to insert the elements DQ dot add of 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. I added some elements into this. So system dot out dot println of DQ. Println of what? DQ. Now, what we'll be doing is, first of all, we'll try to illustrate those functions. All those functions we'll try to illustrate, and then we'll be seeing this. Yes, save it. Java C space array DQ dot Java, and then Java space Java space -cp. Right, so we got the elements like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. In what way we inserted? In the same way we got it. Suppose I'm going to insert in between 4. Save it and let's try to execute it. So we got it. That means there is no natural ordering, nothing will be there. Priority effect was not there, just double-ended queue is there. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to do DQ dot add first. Add first off, I would like to add 45. After that, DQ dot add last. That means from rear end, I would like to insert here 55 and I'm going to insert it. After that, I'm going to display the elements. After this, I'm going to use DQ dot remove first. After that, DQ dot remove last. Okay. And then I'm going to print this system.out.println of DQ. Let's save this. Right. You see here 10, 20, 30, 40, 4 and 50. Now I inserted what first 45, 10, 20, 30, 4, 50 and 55. After that, what I done after inserting, again I removed first, again I removed last, and then what DQ, and then what we got what DQ, and what here it is provided one more thing also. And if you want to delete a specified element, that also we can do DQ dot remove off. If you want to delete a specified element, you can delete that specified element also. 3 deletions I'm going to do over there. So finally you'll be getting 10, 20, 30, 50 elements you'll be getting over. I inserted 45 and I inserted 55, and again I'm going to delete that with the help of delete first and delete last. Okay, so this is how, and you can implement this in such a way that you can take input from the user, and you can give some menu like insert rear, insert fret. In the place of insert rear, you need to call add last. In place of delete insert friend, you need to call add first. And delete rear, you need to call remove last. Delete friend, you need to call a function call remove first. Like that, you need to call the functions, and you can implement this double-ended queue in very simple. But in case of that, I already shared the program in your data structures notes. Double-ended queue program, it's already there in your notes, Xerox notes. Either provide double-ended queue program on the. So we need to consider many conditions over there when you want to implement double-ended queue. The things, many things we need to consider, but here no need write the hard code. Just try to create an object for this array DQ and try to use those functions like add first, add last, remove first, and then remove last. And this is by using iterator. So by using for each loop we are printing, and clear function deletes everything. After that, again they added, again added at last, again by using iterator, and descending iterator to reverse DQ order. So they're using descending iterator function they're using, and they're using that. Okay, so all these things are not required. Just take the program up to this. Make a note of this first.
సార్ రిమూవ్ 4 అంటే 4th పొజిషన్ లో పోతుందా సార్, లేకపోతే 4 అనే ఇంటిజర్ పోతుందా సార్?
4 అనే ఇంటిజర్ వెళ్తుంది నాన్న. సపోజ్ 50 తీసుకుంటాను. సారీ, okay,
yes sir.
Make a note of this. Completed? Students respond.
No, sir.
Completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
45, have you done it? 44?
Sir,
రాసావా?
yes, sir.
టర్న్ వీడియో ఆన్ చేయ ఒకసారి. Siddharth. (26).
Yes, sir.
Turn on your video.
1 minute, sir.
21. Siddharth, what happened? 21. రాసావమ్మా? ఓకే, గుడ్ గుడ్ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్.
వెబ్కామ్ పనిచేయట్లేదు సార్.
ఎగ్జామ్స్ అప్పుడు పనిచేస్తుంది కదరా?
సార్ ఫాల్ట్ వచ్చింది సార్, ప్రిపేర్ అయింది మొన్న.
ఓకే, బద్రి
సార్
వీడియో ఆన్ చేయి.
ఓకే సార్.
రాస్తున్నావా? ఓకే, 501. ఓకే బద్రి, 501.
Yes, sir.
Turn on your video. Are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Try to give response, students. Very good, very good. Those are writing very good. Fine. So let's go back to our thing, because prior to Q had suffered like anything. Fine. So try to look into this thing, what we are discussed and what is there. First of all, let me clear everything. So we already completed the black color ones. Up to this we completed, and the left out things are blue color, red color. That priority queue we done, and array DQ also we are done. Then we'll be going with collection algorithms now. What do you mean by collection algorithms? Very, very simple. Collection algorithms is very, very simple. This we'll discuss now, and then we'll be entering into the map interfaces and classes. These two things we need to discuss and try to listen. First we'll be going with collection, and then we'll be going with what a map and interfaces. Anything collection. This collection is one of the thing which contains some set of algorithms, some set of methods. and those methods will be using directly. For example, if you want to search for a particular element with respect to integers, then we'll be going with what? A linear search and binary search. So this binary search method is available ready-made, and we can make use of that binary search in our programs. In our programs, see, collection framework defines several algorithms that can be applied to collections and maps. These algorithms are defined as static methods within a collection class, which are useful for operations such as data mining, sorting, shuffling, searching, and then finding extreme values. Like many things are available over there. Many methods are available in collection class. Let's enter into this Java API first. And in that Java API, let's enter into this collection class. So already we have collection interface. Here we have collections class. Here we have collection interface. You can see collection interface we have in java.util package. And here we have collections class. If you click on this collections class, collections, yes, is that collections class, and we'll be having some set of variables, and we have some set of methods, add all, checked collection, checked map, fill last index of sublist, min, max, here max, min, replace all, reverse order, reverse, and then rotate, shuffle, next sort, swap, synchronized collection. Like many methods are available, we can make use of those methods. We can apply all these things on list directly. So very simple. Collection algorithm, collection framework provides a class called collections, and this class provides some set of methods, and which is used for those methods we can use based on our requirement. We can make use of that. Suppose I have a list with me, and I would like to do some manipulations on this list. This list consists of a list of integers, and I would like to sort this list. Then I can go with the collection.sort. Collections.sort function I can use, and then this elements will be will come in sorting order. I would like to shuffle that elements. I would like to shuffle those integers. Then I can use shuffle function, and I would like to search whether a particular element exists in that list or not. Then I can use searching operation. Like there are many things are available, like sort function is there, sort list comma comparator, and this list need to be comparator. This list need to be sorted as per this comparator. Comparator, right? ఈ comparator ని base చేసుకొని elements ని sort చేయాలి. ఎలా sort చేస్తాం అంటే comparator లో కొన్ని conditions, కొన్ని methods implement చేస్తాం. As per that logic, this list need to be sorted. We'll discuss about this comparator. And next, sort of list means directly sort the elements as per the natural ordering. And then shuffle means it shuffles, randomizes the elements in the list, rotates list by n places to the right towards left, and use negative. If you want to rotate towards left means we'll be using n for negative. So we'll be seeing that how we are going to rotate the list. Reverse means it reverses the elements in the list and copies the elements of one list into another list with the help of copy function. Binary search here. This binary search can be made, this value is going to be compared in this list as per this logic if you take comparator. If you're not taking comparator, and it is going to check whether this value exists in this list or not, right? Such as value in the list must be sorted, returns the position of value in a list if -1 if it is not found. Same thing with respect to max. If you take comparator, as per this comparator logic, it returns max. If you're not taking comparator, it returns the maximum in that particular list, and it returns minimum in the particular list. And these are the methods that has been available in your collection algorithms. Let's see one simple program based on this collection algorithms. See, I'm taking one simple list over here. Linked list, L is equal to new linked list. I added some set of elements, 4 elements I added. After that, I would like to reverse this complete list. In order to do that, what I'm doing is there's specified clearly one point here that your collection framework contains all static methods. So no need to create an object for this collections class. Directly we can make use of that. So what I'm doing is collections dot reverse of L. So whatever the elements that we have in this L, and all those elements are going to be in reversed order. All these elements will become in what? Reverse order. Suppose 17, 24, 7, 17, 28 is that. So we'll be getting 28, 17, 24, and then 7. So again, with the help of iterator, I'm going to print those elements. Iterator I is equal to new I dot L dot iterator. Reversal list I'm going to print as next, and then next system dot out dot print I have taken over there. After that, collection dot sort. This reversal list I'm going to make in sorting order. This reversal list I'm making in sorting order. Again, I'm see, one thing is that when I'm going to do collections dot reverse of L means in this L itself, the elements are going to be reversed. It's this collection dot reverse doesn't generate the reversed ordered elements. What it does is in the L itself, in this particular list itself, it makes the elements to be in a reverse order. So this again, I'm renaming this I with respect to this iterator. Why I'm doing this means it was modified. See, here collection dot sort of L means this L contains elements in sorting order. But in this position, the L contains elements in reverse order. So at that time, we called iterator method. That means list low elements reverse unnapudu, we called iterator method, and it is going to access it. But here, what happens is if I'm not going to take this, this iterator I will be considered the same output what we got over there, and we'll be getting the same output. So that's the reason what I'm doing is here L was modified. After modifying L, again I'm calling a iterator method on that. So this I is going to print the elements in sorting order. After that, again I applied what shuffle function, collections dot shuffle. Again I'm changing I with respect to L dot iterator. Again it gives us the shuffles list, and then it prints the minimum value and then maximum value, and then maximum value. So let's compile this algorithm demo.java. Warnings we can neglect. See, first it's giving what reversed thing. The thing we entered is 17, 24, 724. In what way we inserted there? We inserted what 774, 17, 28. The reversal list is 28, 17, 24, 7, and sorted list we got. After that, we shuffled it, and then we find the minimum as well as the maximum. Suppose you might be asking a question, sir, if I'm not going to take here this one, if I'm not going to take here this, I'm going to print. You may not be getting the elements in sorting order. The same list you will be getting. So we'll not be getting anything over there, right? Sorted list, we are not going to get anything. We need to get the same list over there, but it's not giving. Okay, for everything we need to do what iterator, we need to call iterator method. If we have done any modifications in the object, we need to call iterator method, and then we can print those elements. We can print those elements over there. Okay, so let's try to use binary search function over here. System dot out dot println binary search. Now collections dot, what's the name of the function over there? Binary search. Binary search of L comma 100. Binary search of L comma 100. If 100 exists, it returns what? It returns what position. If 100 does not exist, it returns what? -1. However, 100 does not exist, so it returns what? -1 over there. One error. Println. So we got what? Minus value. Okay, Actually, -1 we need to get, but it's giving what? -5. Okay, clear with this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Make a note of this fast. Two hours. Only 49 are there. This unit 4 is completely we'll get irritation with this unit 4. Many classes will be there, many things will be there, everything same, different functions will come into the picture, right? But try to remember that add function, at least add and remove function, try to remember. And if you got anything, create an object, add some elements, print that object, and remove some element, print that object. That's it. There ends the story. That's it. If you got anything, you follow the same thing. Okay. You might be getting a questions like differences, difference between hash set and linked list. Like that, you might be getting some differences, or they might be asking you about collection algorithms or string tokenizer or scanner class. Like that, they might be asking you the questions. Okay.
సార్ ఈ మెథడ్స్ ని వాడి డిఫరెంట్ మ్యానిపులేషన్స్ చేసుకోవచ్చా సార్?
అంటే
లింక్
ఇక్కడ
లిస్ట్ అలాంటి వాటి మీద
ఇంటీజర్స్ ఉంటేనే చేయడానికి పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది నాన్న.
అంటే సి ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో రాసేలాగైతే వాడు ఏదో నోట్ దగ్గర మొత్తం అంటే ఒక లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ ఇంకో లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ మధ్యలో ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసి ఇలా మ్యానిపులేషన్స్ చాలా చేస్తారు కదా సార్. అలా ఇక్కడ చేసుకోవడానికి కుదురుతుందా అని?
ఉంది కదా మనకి లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ లో వాట్ అప్రోప్రియేట్ ప్లేస్ లో మాడిఫై చేయడానికి సెట్ అన్న ఫంక్షన్ యూస్ చేసాం కదా, ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడానికి.
లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ మధ్యలోకి ఇంకొక లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ ని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసుకోవడానికి
ఒక వాట్ లిస్ట్ లో ఉన్నాయి తీసుకొచ్చి ఇంకో లిస్ట్ లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తా ఉంటాం, అంతేనా?
అదే సార్, ఒక పొజిషన్ చెప్తే ఆ పొజిషన్ దగ్గర ఇంకొక లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ ని తీసుకొచ్చి ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి.
You can do that by using set function. Set function ki enni parameters unnayo chudu okasari. Collection anna parameter తీసుకుందాం అనుకో set function. Suppose you created one linked list, Srikar. Linked list L is equal to new linked list అని చెప్పేసి ఆ L dot add అని చెప్పి 5 elements ని యాడ్ చేస్తావు. Linked list L2 is equal to new linked list అని చెప్పేసి ఆ L2 లో కొన్ని elements ని యాడ్ చేసుకో. ఓకే, నౌ ఈ L2 ని తీసుకెళ్ళి L1 లో సెకండ్ పొజిషన్ లో ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం, అంతేనా?
Yes sir.
రైట్. సో ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయడానికి యాడ్ అన్న ఫంక్షన్ ద్వారా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు అట్ పర్టికులర్ పొజిషన్ లో. మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే యాడ్ పొజిషన్ కామా కలెక్షన్ అని చెప్పేసి ఒకటి ఉంటుంది మెథడ్. 2 పారామీటర్స్ తీసుకుంటుంది. ఒకటేమో యాడ్ మెథడ్ విచ్ యాడ్స్ అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ లిస్ట్. యాడ్ పొజిషన్ కామా కలెక్షన్ అని చెప్పేసి ఒక మెథడ్ ఉంది మనకి లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ లో. లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ యాడ్ ఎన్ని డిఫరెంట్ వేస్ గా రాశారు అన్నది చూడండి ఒకసారి. సెట్ అనేది ఎన్ని డిఫరెంట్ వేస్ గా రాశారు అన్నది చూడాలి. సో యాడ్ ఈ ఇండెక్స్ కామా ఎలిమెంట్ యాడ్ కలెక్షన్ అని చెప్పేసి ఇచ్చాడు. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, యాడ్ ఆల్ ఇండెక్స్ కామా కలెక్షన్ అంటే ఇన్సర్ట్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఆల్ ద ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఇన్ ద స్పెసిఫైడ్ కలెక్షన్ ఇన్ టు దిస్ లిస్ట్ స్టార్టింగ్ అట్ ద స్పెసిఫైడ్ పొజిషన్. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీరు L1 డాట్ యాడ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ 2 కామా L1 అన్నారు అనుకోండి, సారీ L2 అన్నారు అనుకోండి. L2 లో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్స్ అన్ని వచ్చేసి సెకండ్ ఇండెక్స్ నుంచి ఇన్సర్షన్ అన్నది జరుగుతుంది. సెకండ్ ఇండెక్స్ నుంచి ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ అన్ని వచ్చి అక్కడ పడతాయి అనమాట. ట్రై చేసి చూడండి ఒకసారి. యుల్ బి గెటింగ్ క్రియేట్ 2 లిస్ట్ అండ్ ట్రై టు డూ దట్. అండ్ మీరు అది చేస్తారు కదా, వచ్చిందా? యూజర్ డిఫైన్ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ వచ్చాయా?
No sir.
లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు కదా, ఇప్పుడు లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ ఒక క్లాస్ తీసుకోండి మీరు ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో, జావా ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో. ఆ క్లాస్ స్టూడెంట్ అన్న క్లాస్ తీసుకొని మెయిన్ మెథడ్ లో ఏం చేస్తారంటే లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ స్టూడెంట్, మీరు అక్కడ క్లాస్ తీసుకున్న స్టూడెంట్ L is equal to న్యూ లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ మళ్ళీ ముందు టైప్ తీసుకొని యాడ్ చేయండి. ఆ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఒక 2 to 3 ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయండి. ఆ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి యాడ్ చేసి మళ్ళీ వాటిని ప్రింట్ చేసి చూడండి వస్తుంది. ఐ విల్ బి డిస్కసింగ్ దిస్ ఇన్ కంపారేటర్. యూజర్ డిఫైన్ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ని ఎలా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి అనేది కంపారేటర్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు చెప్దాం అని చెప్పేసి ఆపాను. ఐ విల్ బి డిస్కసింగ్ ఇట్, ట్రై టు డూ దట్. ఓకే,
మళ్ళీ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసిన యూజర్ డిఫైన్ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ని ప్రింట్ చేయాలంటే హ్యాష్ కోడ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది సార్ మధ్యలో. దానికోసం మళ్ళీ టూ
నువ్వు
స్ట్రింగ్ రాస్తే
యాడ్ ఎల్ అని చెప్తే అక్కడ ఆ ఎల్లో హ్యాష్ కోడ్ వస్తుందా? అంటే సపోజ్ మీరు ప్రింట్ చేస్తారు, కరెక్షన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని ప్రింట్ చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుంది?
హ్యాష్ కోడ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది సార్.
హ్యాష్ కోడ్
సిస్టమ్ డాట్
సేమ్
దానికి
హ్యాష్
టూ
కోడ్
స్ట్రింగ్
వస్తుంది సార్
రాస్తే
మళ్ళీ.
చెప్పండి చెప్పండి.
సేమ్ హ్యాష్ కోడ్ వస్తుంది సార్. లాస్ట్ దేన్నైతే ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసామో దాని తాలూకా హ్యాష్ కోడ్ మొత్తం అన్ని
అంటే ఇప్పుడు
పొజిషన్స్
మీరు
వస్తుంది.
2 ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తే 2 ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ డిఫరెంట్ హ్యాష్ కోడ్స్ రావట్లేదా?
లేదు సార్.
సేమ్ హ్యాష్ కోడ్ వస్తుందా?
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక క్లాస్ కి ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకుని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసాం సార్. ఆ తర్వాత క్రియేట్ ఫంక్షన్ లో ఎలా అడుగుతామో డూ యూ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ అనదర్ నోడ్ అని అలా అడిగినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ సేమ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కి ఇంకొక వేరే క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ మళ్ళీ ఎంటర్ చేస్తుంటే పొజిషన్ 1 and 2 లో సేమ్ క్రెడెన్షియల్ చూపిస్తుంది.
అంటే వన్ సింగిల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకుని ఆ సింగిల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లోనే డేటాని మ్యానిపులేట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తున్నాం.
అవును సార్.
మ్యానిపులేట్ చేసిన డేటాని యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్ లో యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాం. అదే చేసావు కదా?
అవును సార్.
ఓకే, చూద్దాంలే. ఫైన్. సో హ్యావ్ యు కంప్లీటెడ్ దిస్?
ఎస్ సార్.
వాట్ అబౌట్ అదర్స్?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ఒకటి one doubt that I have, I would like to ask it officially. In all classes you will be like this, that if faculty asks continuously then only you will give response, or in other class you will be very anxiety to give response? నాకు ఇది క్లియర్ చేయండి. అన్ని క్లాసెస్ లో ఇలానే రెస్పాండ్ అవుతున్నారా, లేదంటే నా క్లాస్ లోనే ఇంత డల్ గా ఉంటున్నారా? I need a response. Remaining classes you are very active, right? Maniteja?
సార్
Ah,
ఏం లేదు సార్, అన్ని క్లాస్ ఇట్లా మీకు రెస్పాండ్ అయినట్టు అవుతాం సార్. నేనైతే మీకు రెస్పాండ్ అయినట్టు అవుతాను సార్.
అంటే ఈ మన జావాలోనే తక్కువ రెస్పాన్స్, మిగతా అన్నిట్లో బాగానే రెస్పాండ్ అవుతారు, అంతే కదా?
అలా ఏం లేదు సార్, మీకు మీకు ఎలా రెస్పాన్స్ ఇస్తానో అలానే ఇస్తాను సార్.
నీ గురించి కాదు నేను అడిగింది, కంప్లీట్ క్లాస్ యువర్ సిఆర్.
అన్ని క్లాసెస్ లో అంతే సార్.
ఓకే, సో ట్రై టు గివ్ రెస్పాన్స్ స్టూడెంట్స్. ఇంకా ఎక్కువ రోజులు ఉండవు క్లాసెస్, ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్. మా అంటే ఇంకో 1 month ఉంటాయో 15 days ఉంటాయో అంతే. అంత తర్వాత ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ ఉండవు. డైరెక్ట్లీ విల్ బి గోయింగ్ విత్ ఆఫ్లైన్ ఓన్లీ, రైట్? నెక్స్ట్ అకాడమిక్ ఇయర్ ఫ్రెష్ విల్ బి స్టార్టింగ్ విత్ వాట్ ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ most probably. Let's see what will happen. Okay, make a note of this few functions and then we'll go with the program fast. Three topics will be there in 5th unit. Event delegation. In that we'll be going with java.awt.star and java.awt.event. Next thing is applet. Then we'll be going with the swings. We'll talk very less about swings, but we'll talk more about applets and we'll talk more about frames. Okay, so very interesting and easiest things. If you understood 1 or 2 programs, remaining programs you can do by your own from seeing it from Java API. And most of the students will feel very comfortable up to 3rd unit, but from 4th unit onwards, it will be very headache for you. But 5th unit quite interesting. We'll be going with that. In 4th unit lo kuda em leda basalo peddaga topics ibbandi pette topics em undavu. Just everywhere creating object, adding, and deleting, adding, deleting. That's it. Apart from that, nothing will be there. But the thing is, we need to remember many things. Many classes we need to remember. Completed it? Have you done with that slide?
No, sir.
Now strength came to 46. It went up to 60 and it came to 46. Completed?
Yes, sir.
Let's go with program, students. Make a note of this program. Completed? Completed? Students respond completed or not?
Yes, sir.
What about others? What about others? Respond. Completed? See, map interfaces and classes we have. So generally, what do you mean by this map means map contains values on the basis of key. Map contains values based on the key. That means dictionary, what we have in dictionary in data structure, that every value is associated with a key, and the retrieval of elements can be done based on this key only. So map contains unique keys. We are not supposed to insert same type of keys. And to implement map in Java, we have what a class called map interface. And to this map interface, we have another interface called sorted map. And to this sorted map, we have a class called a tree map. And this map was implemented by a class called hash map. And this hash map has a subclass called linked hash map. Linked hash map. That means the dictionary, what we have in data structures here, that dictionary was fulfilled with a concept called, with a class called or with an interface called map. And we have two interfaces, map interface and sorted interface. And we have three classes, hash map, linked hash map, and then tree map, So what do you mean by this? The thing, maps are perfect to use key value pair association, such as dictionaries. And then maps are used to perform lookups by keys. When someone wants to retrieve and update an element, they can do it by using keys. A map of pin codes and cities, or map of classes and students, where a class can be considered as key associated with a list of students. Here every pin code is associated with cities. And here also the list of students is associated with one single class. First class contains some set of students, or the section might be contains some set of students. Like that, they're given some example. Here section is going to be a unique, and students, there might be a number of students will be there in the class with same name with the different rule numbers. Okay, but the section is going to be unique. And we have three classes that has implemented this map interface. One is hash map, other one is linked hash map, other one is tree map. Hash map is an implementation of map, but does not maintains any order. Linked hash map is an implementation of map. It inherits hash map. That means it was extended from this hash map only. It maintains insertion order. And then tree map is an implementation of map, and a sorted map, it maintains sorting order. Here the difference between linked hash map and then tree map is that linked hash map maintains an insertion order, whereas tree map maintains ascending order. In what way the elements was inserted, and in that way the things will be there in linked hash map. But coming to this tree map, it maintains the ascending order. It maintains ascending order. And the map does not allows duplicate values, but you can have duplicate, map does not allows duplicate keys, but it allows duplicate values. It allows duplicate values. That means key should not be duplicate, but value can be duplicate. Hash map and linked hash map allows null values, but tree map does not allows null values. And a map cannot be traversed, so you need to convert it into set using key set or entry set method. We are not in a position to map the we are not in a position to traverse the things. So in order to traverse the elements of map, we need to convert that into key set or entry set. Key set means you'll be getting only keys. Entry set means you'll be getting both keys as well as values, values. Okay, so these are the things this method puts or used to insert an entry into the map. And this method is used to insert all the specified things into the map, and remove this method used to delete an entry from the specified key. And by using specified key, we'll be removing the particular value. And by using specified key, we'll be retrieving particular value by using get function. It checks whether a particular value exists in the list or not with the help of key. And set entry key, with the help of this will be retrieving the elements. And how we'll be retrieving the things we'll be discussing with respect to one simple program. Make a note of this, students. Three things are there. Try to remember: hash map, linked hash map, and then tree map. Just introduction is enough for this. No need to go in depth of this, but I'm going to explain you one program that might be tree map. We'll be discussing tree map. Just an overview, what do you mean by map, and what are all classes that comes under this map, that you need to know. That's it. Completed? Response students, have you done this? Students respond.
Yes, sir.
Have you completed? 505, 20, 505. 20, 503.
Yes, sir.
Have you writing it?
Yes.
Completed writing?
Yes, sir.
Can you turn on your video? Have you done with this response students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, back teacher. And take this table. I will explain program in the next class only. I won't explain now. Don't take. Just take this thing and then we'll close off the session. Lavanya, turn on your video, ma. Okay. Okay, good. Completed?
No.
Completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go back to our thing, what we are there, what we covered today. Let's see. So we covered up to this, where for each this is also completed. This program we need to discuss. Up to this we covered, and remaining thing is that comparator is there to discuss, and then what properties class we need to discuss. That's it. 1, 2, and then 3. 3 programs are there to discuss over here. Stack and vector we already discussed, and here we need to go with string tokenizer scanner class. So what we'll be doing is tomorrow morning we'll be going with this utility classes only directly. First I will be going with scanner class and then string tokenizer. All these classes I will be discussing in first 2 hours. Again I will be taking 4th hour. In 4th hour we'll be going with this properties and then comparators. Properties and then comparators. With that your unit 4 is going to be completed. Okay, is it okay for you all? We'll be going with a fresh topic in the morning session that I will start from scanner class. It's going to be an interesting, and then string tokenizer followed by random date, and calendar and bit set is somewhat again it's like going to be map and interface different ga. But this 3 classes are very interesting. Date, scanner, and then string tokenizer random. This are very, very interesting. We'll be discussing in tomorrow's session. Okay for you? Can I go with utility classes in the morning session? 2 hours?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the afternoon session, we'll be going with properties and then map class and then comparator. 3 topics we'll be discussing over there. Okay, fine. So any doubts if you have, you can ask, otherwise you can leave.
సార్ ఇందాక లింక్ లిస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ గురించి చెప్పాను కదా సార్.
చెప్పండి శ్రీకర్.
అదే సార్ ఇందాక లింక్ లిస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ నేను ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసిన విధానం చెప్పాను కదా సార్. అది వర్క్ అవ్వట్లేదని నేను ఎరే ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ కూడా తీసుకుని ట్రై చేశాను సార్. ఎరే ఆఫ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నప్పుడు స్కానర్ క్లాస్ తో తీసుకునే ఇన్పుట్ ని రీడ్ చేస్తుంటే నల్ పాయింటర్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ వస్తుంది.
సరే ఒకసారి నాకు పంపివు, ఫైల్ పంపివు, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఫైల్ నాకు పంపివు. నువ్వు మొన్న చేసింది కూడా ప్రోగ్రామ్ జావా ఫైల్ నాకు పంపివు. పంపించి దాని కింద నోట్ పెట్టు, ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం అన్నది ఒకసారి నాకు చెప్పు, నేను చూస్తాను ఒకసారి.
ఓకే సార్. ఇంకా నిన్న అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా ఫైల్ నేమ్ మెయిన్ ఉన్న క్లాస్ నేమ్ సేమే తీసుకున్నాను సార్.
ఓకే.
కానీ ఎర్రర్ ఏం చూపిస్తుందంటే నేను ఏ క్లాస్ అయితే అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేశానో అందులో మెయిన్ లేదని చూపిస్తుంది ఎర్రర్.
అంటే ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఏం తీసుకున్నావు?
ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఏమో అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్ డెమో అని తీసుకున్నాను సార్.
కంపైల్ చేసేప్పుడు రన్ చేసేప్పుడు ఏ క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నావు?
సేమ్ అదే క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నాను సార్.
ఒకటి విను, అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ కింద తీసుకున్నావు, ఓకేనా?
అవును సార్.
అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ కింద తీసుకున్నప్పుడు నువ్వు జావా సి స్పేస్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ డాట్ జావా అంటావు, ఓకే అయిపోయింది. అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్ కాకుండా సపోజ్ బి అన్న క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నావు, బి ఈజ్ అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్, ఏ ఈజ్ అ నార్మల్ క్లాస్. ఏ క్లాస్ లో మెయిన్ మెథడ్ తీసుకున్నావు, బిలో మెయిన్ మెథడ్ తీసుకోలేదు, బి ఈజ్ అన్ అబ్స్ట్రాక్ట్ క్లాస్, రైట్? అండ్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ బి డాట్ జావా అని తీసుకున్నావు, అంతేనా?
అవును సార్.
అండ్ జావా సి స్పేస్ బి డాట్ జావా అని చెప్పేసి తీసుకున్నావు, ఓకే వచ్చింది. అండ్ జావా స్పేస్ బి అని చెప్పి తీసుకుంటే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది, బిలో మెయిన్ మెథడ్ లేదు కాబట్టి ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. నువ్వు ఇక్కడ ఏం చేయాలంటే జావా స్పేస్ ఏ అని చెప్పి తీసుకోవాలి.
ఓకే సార్. దేంట్లో మెయిన్ మెథడ్ ఉందో అదే
తీసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే బ్లైండ్ అజంప్షన్ ఏంటంటే జేవిఎం ఒక డాట్ క్లాస్ ఫైల్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ స్టాటిక్ వేరియబుల్స్, స్టాటిక్ బ్లాక్స్, తర్వాత మెయిన్ మెథడ్.
ఓకే సార్.
ఇంకా ఓకే.